Hello, good evening. Hope you all had a lovely weekend. It's Monday, so we're going to be playing with our monthly make for May. So that's that lovely box we opened last week. I'm trying to see if I can see where there they are. So it's this lovely big border and a nice little flower and a saying as well to go with it. So that's what's in the box. And that's what we're going to be playing with tonight. So I thought I'd just do something really, really simple tonight. And see where we get to. Hi Tracy. That's my plan really. That's about as far as I've got. I'm going to play with my oxides and our monthly make it because it is Monday. So should we get going? So if you're wanting to craft along, it is oxide. I've got on my desk here. I've got peel paint, flamingo, tea dye and antique linen. It's the colours I've pulled out, and of course we'll be using our monthly make box. I'll get there at some point tonight. Hi Alice, hi Denise. So let's see if this wants to work. There we go. See, I've tried to be a little bit organised today, only a little bit. So I've got my journal out only because I like to have a make using each of the multi-make kits in here. So I've just got a spare page in my journal. Hi Pauline. Hi Zena. So I'm just going to start off with a clean page in my journal, and the colours I've got again are peel paint, flamingo, tea dye and antique linen. So I want my tea dye and my antique linen for my background. I look really organised tonight, I'm not honest. I've just decided those are the colours I was going to use. Hi Mum. Right, so I'm going to start off. I want a bit of a splodgy background. We're going to embrace some white space. Just checking this piece of acetate I just found on my desk. Yeah, it looks semi-clean. Hi Christine. We'll use that. I'm going to start off with my antique linen because it's my palest colour. And my idea is we're going to have a bit of a flower action in the middle. I'm not going to put them down because they look dirty, my stamps. And then I'm going to use that border just to add a little bit of detail around the edge. So that is the plan. Okay, and we'll see where we get to. So I've got a little piece of acetate on my desk because I want to be a bit specific about where I put my splodges. I'm just going to pop that on there. I don't want too much colour. I'm trying to embrace white space though. I said that the other day, didn't I? And we ended up colour everywhere. So I want somewhere I'm going to put my flower. And then I'm just going to do a few little patches. So this is antique linen I've started with. Yep. There we go. So I'm going to have a bit of a border coming in here, a bit there. And then a beautiful flower in the top. So I think that's actually enough. I'm just going to wipe that off. I could have done it as a pickup, but like I say, I want to be a bit more specific about where I'm putting down my colour. I could have done it as splatters. That always looks good, doesn't it? I've got a different colour coming in on here as well. I'm assuming I had a bit of blue Rusho on there. It is a forgotten colour, isn't it, antique linen, Pauline? It's one of them that sits on my shelf and I think, oh, I must use that a bit more. But it has so many different colours to it. I'll hold it up in a minute. You can see yellow in there, orange, you can see a lovely brown coming out of that as well. Especially when you do it as a water effect like this. It's a lovely, lovely base colour. It's one of the forgotten ones because it does tone really well with so many others. So I'll just pick that up for you, especially in the middle here. Can you see you've got like yellows right through to oranges and browns? I'm looking in that. Oh, fingers and thumbs. There we go. All different colours in this little bit here. But it's an amazing colour. I don't think we use it as much as we should. We said that about, was it Bundled Sage the other week? I think we should just go through the colours at some point and have a bit of a play. So I'm going in with my tea dye now. So tea dye should, you know how I was saying it's got like orangey tones? So I'm hoping the orangey tones will turn this kind of like a peachy. Yeah, I don't want necessarily the brown, I want more of the orangey peachy side to our tea dye. I could have used Rusty Hinge, I suppose, but I wanted a bit more peach rather than, because then our other colour is going to be flamingo. There we go. So you can just see a few little patches of it. Don't want much. Tidy off my acetate. Give that a quick dry again. And the reason we dry between each layers is that we get the colours. If you don't dry, it just turns into a real like mud pie rather than lovely layered. And if you were to put like a gloss or something over it, you get really nice the different colours coming out. Tonight in the club we're doing our monthly make box, and I have just used antique linen and tea dye oxides. Give it a quick dry from the back. So I've got lovely antique linen, tea dye on there, and then ooh, my spine's got a bit hot there. There we go. Right, so you can see we've got a lovely, just splodgy background. That's all I'm after. I could have got my brush out to do it, but my oxides were sat there waiting. And you can see I've kind of made this panel in the middle where we're going to put our lovely Stella. And then here, so I've got a patch here and a patch here where we're going to put our borders in. A lovely border doodle. I've got more pieces of acetate now. It's like, what's that saying? It's like a bus. So we're going to put one down here, and then we're going to put that one up towards the top there. Yep. So, the reason I'm dithering is I'm not actually sure if I want to pop these in. I'm going to pop them in. Ignore me. I know what I'm doing now. So, I was just going to use all black, you know, for my ink on the top of this one. However, I'm just going to give this a quick wipe. I'm going to go back to those two Distress ink oxides. I'll get my words together tonight, I promise. I'm just giving it a bit of a rub in case I had any wet or... I shouldn't have any wet ink because it's been there for a week. Any bits or pieces on this that shouldn't be there. Right. Make sure it's dry because I'm going to stamp it into my oxide in a moment. That should do now. Right, I'm going to start off with my antique linen, and then I'm going to go in with the tea dye as well. I don't need to ink up the whole thing because I just want little patches. I know I keep saying it, don't I? So I'm going to come over here somewhere. Make sure my lines are semi-straight. Otherwise it really does look odd. Look at that. Now I want one coming down here, and I've got no chance of stamping it that close to the edge. So I'm just going to grab, or I would do if I could find one. There we go. I'm going to go for a smaller stamping block. There we go. Ooh. You forget how big this one is, don't you? Except for when it comes to peeling it off and on. It's huge. So all I'm going to do is pop the little bit I want to stamp. I'm going to use that bit there. I'm going to cheat so I get it in the right place. My brain's not quite in gear enough. There we go. So I've popped it towards the top of my block so I can stamp right into this edge over here. I'm just going to grab my antique linen again. And just grab this down here. There we go. Then we can get right up into this bit here. Make sure it's nice and level though. Don't want it wonky. Put that one there. And I'm going to do exactly the same, but I'm just going to turn this around. So I'm going to lie it on my table again because my brain's not. There we go. I'm going to stamp another one, just a little bit of it. Layering up our colours. And at the moment, we've only used 2 colours, haven't we? We used antique linen and we've used our tea dye. Don't know why I was going to say gravy. I knew that wasn't right. Could you imagine if he came out with one called gravy? That would be quite funny, wouldn't it? Right. Now this one's looking a bit lonely, isn't it? So let's pull this one off again. We do need some longer stamp blocks, don't we? I'm just going to grab a little bit again here. And do it quite short, I think, on this one. There we go. Pick up that oxide before it goes everywhere else, and then I'm just going to clean my stamp because we're working without oxides again. Oops, wobbly table. You're getting a bit heavy-handed. Right, so now I'm going to put my antique linen lid back on, right? Pop that to one side. See, it looks quite nice just like that. You could imagine, couldn't you? Imagine a bloke's card, so be a bit smaller, those in the 2 corners, and then just a lovely happy birthday with maybe a few of the little painty bits and shading we're going to do in a minute. That would look really cool. And remember, you could always spritz this before you sprayed it, so you get more of a like watercolour effect. Right, so this is just going to go somewhere randomly. And there we go. It looks like dream catchers. You know, when you look at them just coming down the wall. It'd be quite interesting to see if we could do that effect with it, wouldn't it? And then this one's going to come in. I think we'll have this end. So all change again. Put that on there. Got into pinkies. That down. So daisy, trying to make it kind of straight-ish, maybe. Right. So I just need to tidy up that stamp. So I think that piece of acetate I was messing about with before to do my slodgy bits is actually the carrier bit for this bit. There we go. It's almost like I was organised there. I'm not. Right, so that's safely back. Right. So next, looks quite pretty, doesn't it, so far? Well, grungy. Grungy is the word I was looking for. Got a bit of a splodge going on there. Hang on. There we go, that's better. I'm just going to give it a quick blast with the heat gun, so it's as set as oxides get. I don't know if you can quite see my bind on my page. is just starting to come apart, so I need to reinforce it from the back as well. So I'm just giving it a quick dry. So I do want to go in with a little bit of colour, a little bit of the inks again. It looks nice, but I want to get a bit of depth and a bit more colour to it. Right, there we go. So, oops, I've just lost you all. I'm back in a second. Don't know why I just popped off there for the moment. There we go. I was having a moment. I can see you all again now. Right, so I've got my charcoal pencil and my two colours again. So I'm going to go for, I think I'm going to work on the paler ones first. I'm going to start with my antique linen. Let's start pale and go dark, shall we? So, paintbrush. You can tell I've not been at my desk very much this week. Just pop a little bit there. And I just want like wash colour basically. So let's just check. There we go. So I want this really watery. I think I'm going to work on this one first just because it's easier. We could have just added pulled the ink from our oxides, but I just wanted to add a little bit more colour so it's a bit more defined. Yep, so again in here. And then of course we're going to be going over with our charcoal pencil as well in a minute. Do the same on this one. You can see I'm not even being that neat and tidy about my colouring in, am I? It's just... Might go in a little bit darker just on our little... Ooh, that's a lot darker. I did mean just a little bit darker. I didn't mean that dark. Oh well. I've started that dark now, so we'll finish. You see, it just adds a completely different feel, doesn't it? Okay, and I'm not going underneath this tea dye one because we will be doing exactly the same thing with our tea dye in a minute. I don't want the two to clash. Right, I think literally that took a few seconds, didn't it, to do? I'm going to do exactly the same though now with our tea dye on our forward one, our front one. Give the table a quick wipe. Again, like I say, you could have just taken a wet paintbrush after you stamped it, and it would have moved some of your colour. But one, you would have lost a bit of the definition from your stamp, but also so you'd have lost your definition, but also you'd have lost some of the intensity of the colour as well. So that's why I've gone in over the top. I do think it looks quite cool. Right, and this one is using a lot more of my tea dye, aren't I am being careful. You'll notice I'm slopping the paint or the colour on, but I am being careful around those stamp lines because it is oxide at the end of the day, and it isn't going to seal, take too much water to make it start moving. It's meant to heat seal, but it's never perfect, is it? I could have clear embossed it if I wanted it perfect. Okay, right. I just need to pop a little bit more. Serves me right. Leaving my pencil just to drift around in my bits and bobs on my desk. I'm just going to grab a little bit more. I do love tea dye. It is a really nice colour. Oh, got some right squeaky chair. Hi Leslie. So again, I'm just going to come in and add. And bear in mind, this is just our background. You know, we're going to add our lovely little flower in a minute. Get our Stella going. But you don't have to, do you? You could just leave it like this. Yep. It's such fun to work with this one. It is a cracking little board, background board, or whatever you want to call it. It is a lovely colour tea dye. It's just, you do forget, don't you, with all the new colours coming out and things like that. It's just sometimes some of the oldies are goodies. I've got a pot of water on my desk. I'm not quite sure the last time I changed it. Clean my paintbrush that way instead. Right, so looks all right. I'm going to give you a bit more of a close up on that one because we are working quite far away today. There you go. Looks all right, doesn't it? But can you see we are just missing which is in front and which is behind? Yeah, you can kind of tell, but I want to give it a little bit more. Oh, it stayed with me tonight. A little bit more and a little bit more definition. Yeah. So charcoal pencil. Dry enough. You might want to dry yours off with a heat gun if you're following at home. But I do quite like it sometimes when you just get that little darker bits from your charcoal pencil if it's got a bit wet. So can you see, just add in straight away. Yep. And I'm going to come round and start doing. So you know the other week I was kind to tell you, with my pencil I've got lovely flat edge where I get my lovely like shading bits from. So that's what I was using to do that bit. Yeah. So just going in on that lovely big flat open area. Now I'm going in on the little pointy bit at the end to just try and pick up. So I'm playing, is what I'm trying to say. I'm playing with the different edges on my pencil. So you don't always want it super sharp. Yeah. And coming on this one as well. So again, I'm going back to that lovely flat area on my pencil. And then I'll come back to the point when I really want to get in with some detail and more of a harsh line. Whereas this is just very soft and gentle. Genteel. That's it. So can you see, just by adding, well thanks Tracy, that little bit of your charcoal pencil gives it a completely different look. So that's the charcoal pencil bit. And that is the non-charcoal. So it looks alright, doesn't it, without the charcoal? But just adding that little bit, yeah, really makes it, I want to say boom, because it makes it boom. Hi Lynn. I started at 7:30 tonight. I know I'm jumping around. I don't think I actually told anybody that I was coming on tonight. But I am, I'm back. I'm trying to be. So, go around the edge. It'll be 8 o'clock though on Friday because it is Football Friday. And Guitar Friday, but Football Friday mainly. So again, around this one. I'm going to turn my book round because I am really stretching, and you know what it's like when you're crafting. You want to be as comfortable as possible. Because I think sometimes, you know, when you're stretching, and I'm sure Claire and I do this all the time when we're at workshops, we'll move people's paper so it's easier for them to stamp, and all of a sudden you get better stamping, better colouring, because you've got a bit more control because you're on the top of your work rather than stretching to it, if that does make any sense. I'm rambling, but it does make sense in my head, honest. I can't help with days. I know it's Monday. I do know it's Monday today. Never miss a Monday in our house. Especially when the kids are at school. So I'm just going in around those edges again, because I actually want this bit here to really start. This is where I could have done with just probably drying this off a little bit, because can you see I've just hit a wet patch there and my pencil's gone, oh no, there. Should look at the right screen, shouldn't I, when I'm doing this. Just here, it's a little bit wet, so my pencil's gone quite dark. Yep. No hassle. No one would notice if I didn't point it out. I like to point these things out. So again, I'm just going to come up these lines. And I think I'm quite pleased with that. I might just ever so gently. Hardly anything around these. It'd be rude not to give it a little bit of a highlight once, a bit of shade. I have fun with this one. It's such a lovely border. There we go. Right, now you can't use your charcoal pencil without using I'll see you later, Lynn. Can't use your charcoal without using your jelly roll as well, can you? I'm just making sure it works on my finger. It's got a bit crusty around the end, so we'll sort that out while we're at it as well. Just going to add a few little bits to this one, because I think I've overdone it a little bit. And can you see here as well, it's just not popping out quite as much as I want it to. Just coming in with me white on the opposite side to what I've done me charcoal. There we go. There's that one. I'm just going to do exactly the same on this one, just really quick. It also just helps you knock the ones you've stamped over to the back as well. And we could as well put our lovely glossy accents in there, couldn't we? That could be quite nice. Just pop a little bit in here. I'm getting carried away, and this is the background. No surprises there, hey? Right, I think I am going to stop with that, because I do kind of like it. Like I was saying before, you could literally just now pop some fluff on there, and pop your centre. I'll start that again. And pop your saying in the centre, and that would look really nice, wouldn't it? But I want to put a flower in there as well. So I'm just going to grab Stella. She's going to come in here, just like that. So again, I'm going to make it easier for me to stamp. So I'm going to move my book round. It does look like I'm dancing with my book a lot of the time, doesn't it? Hi, Claire. So, I was just saying about when we're doing workshops and we go around turning people's paper around to make it easier to stamp. Right, so that's going to go there, because I think it will look really, really cool. Now, let's just make sure I've got the black that's got ink in. No, I haven't. How rude. I really need to throw that other one away. Let's get this inked up. Make sure you get all its nooks and crannies. There's a lot of spiky bits on this one, and it's easy to miss a little bit. So just take your time inking it up. And it's a good workout as well, isn't it? don't realise how big a stamp this one is. Must have been the month for Whoppers. Right, now let's make sure I get this stamped the right way. That's going to come here, and then we're just going to splat this somewhere in the middle. Somewhere like that. Oh, I think I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. I'm just giving it a really good press. My hands are not the best. I'm trying to see if I've got my black pen somewhere close by just in case. Oh no, it works. That was more of a surprise that my hands actually stamped it. Right, so we've got this lovely big flower in the centre. I was going to stamp her onto another piece, but I think I want to embrace the colours we've got coming behind her, so I'm not. Oops. I sent my laptop flying then. So, this one, where's my other colours gone? For my flower, you know I was talking about tea dye having like that peachy colour? Yep, to it. We've got our flamingo, I can never say that one, kitsch, something like that, flamingo. So I'm going to bring in that lovely flamingo colour. And of course, foliage. There is only one colour for our foliage, isn't there? Because we love our foliage. I'm going to actually start with my foliage. And then I can make the final decision if I want to cut my flowers out, stamp them again and cut them out. So, peel paint, because it's leaves, it's the rules. Oops, got a very excited spritzer tonight. Because we're back in action, isn't it? Let's start. I've gone quite watery to begin with, and then we will start building our colours back up. Remember as well, if we're painting with our oxides, anything that goes over a black line, it is going to add like a chalky film over the top. Oh, sorry, Alice. Yeah, you better get your husband to work. He'll be sat in the car waiting for you. So yeah, you don't want to be going over your lines. So it's one of those that's like, just make sure you're painting a little bit. To be fair, Alice, I'm getting engrossed too. I've had charcoal pencils, I've had splatty bits, all sorts tonight. And then I'm just going to come in now with a bit more dark colour down my stem. I do love peel paint for foliage. It's such a nice little... I'm going to turn this round again. I know I'm playing book disco, I don't know what you can call it. It's like line dancing with a book. Book dancing, that's the one, isn't it? Book dancing. There we go. And then just just like that. And of course, we're going to come back for our little charcoal pen and our gel pen. I'm just cleaning out my brush. Don't know what it is about the green. Well, green and reds, isn't it? It gets all in your brush. Oh, I know, Hala. Yeah, it's 7:30 tonight. I don't think I didn't do a reminder this morning. I was away with fairies this morning, playing catch up. Right, and then so where's my pink gone? I tell you, everything's dancing off my desk tonight, isn't it? Right, there's me. The flamingo had gone running again. Nothing worse than a badly behaved I will get my words. A badly behaved flamingo. Need quite a lot of pink, aren't I? So the idea is this pink's going to tone in nicely with our tea dye. Come on, Mr. Spritzer, play nicely. There we go. So again, I'm going to go in really, really watery. I'm going to start with this one here, I think. Really watery to start with, and then we can start building our colours up. And I never even thought about it, but we're going to need a central colour, aren't we? I might go back to our tea dye, you know, for our middle of the flower. Don't even know what that's called. Again, just pop in the watery pink, and we'll go back in a minute. Could have done this with our brush hose. Yeah, it would have been funny, wouldn't it? Tell you what, that she could have a comedy sketch with that cat she's got. I really need to oil this chair, don't I? Try with its oil it needs to get the boys on it. Again. Ooh, I went in quite heavy there with my colour, didn't I? And then I'm just going to start bringing some more of this colour. So I'm going to come back to this one. And then I'm going to drag my colour out from the centre. Doesn't have to be perfect. Yep, just keep going. It is easier to move your book around. I need one of them, you know, like you have on a table. Is it a Lazy Susan? You know, you spin it around to get your different bits and bobs. I need one of them, don't we, when we're crafting? Keep turning my book round. Right, I need more pink. So I'm trying not to put it in my wet patch already, so I'll do it up here. That sounds really odd. It's a wet patch on my desk. So again, I'm just going to come back in. And this one. But it's really simple. There's nothing I've done here tonight that, you know, can't do. Just grab your oxides, your ink, your distress inks would work for this one as well. Brush hose. If you've got your oxide sprays, because you can paint with your sprays as well, can't you? So you could have done all this, and you can stamp with your sprays. I'm having to think. Flicking away from me. Again here. And then again down here. Love painting. It's not really painting, is it? It's just kind of throwing colour at it and hoping for the best. Oh, just look at those colours though together. That tea dye and our flamingo. Yeah, I'm almost dry brushing there. My brush has got hardly any water left in it. There we go. I think I'm quite pleased with that. I might just actually get some of this sloppy stuff that's left on my desk. Hi Sandy. I am hoping to be getting the monthly makes on the website. I'm getting there slowly. Oh, I didn't clean my paintbrush out. Sorry. But to be fair, I don't think there's much of that pink left in it. There's more than I thought. Goes to show, doesn't it? It's always worth to clean out your paintbrush. Okay. Surprising as well how far up the ink gets up your paintbrush as well. Your bristles, that's the word I was looking for. Right, so not looking too bad, is it? We're getting there. Slow and steady, I think, is tonight's key. It needs a dry. It is very soggy. Need a bit of quick. Not spritz, the other one. Whiz with the heat gun, that's the one. I do get there. These are jumping out that they do want a little bit of glossy accents, I think, on the background. But let's get this bit finished first. Before we make that final decision. There's no getting rid of glossy accents, is there really, once you've done it? It's one of that one moment, no point, no going back. There, that should be done. Make it sound like a cake, don't I? Oh, it'll be done now. 20 minutes in the oven, that one. So again, I'm going to grab my little charcoal. Oh, we've not painted there. Not painted the centres, have I? I'll have to go back and do that in a second. And just anywhere where there might be a little bit of shadow is just getting just a tease from our charcoal pencil or an ordinary pencil. If you don't have a charcoal pencil, an ordinary one will do. We've proved that before, haven't we, when I can't find mine. Just round the base, just like that. I think for the 2 seconds it takes to pop your charcoal pencil around, I think it makes such a difference. I'm not even pressing on, it's almost like tickling the page, isn't it? There you go. And it looks like I spent that time doing absolutely nothing. Let me hold it up. Can you see? Just really fine in there. But I think it does make a big difference. Yep. And can you see here what I was going on about? If you paint over your black lines, you get like a charcoal, a chalk effect. Oh, I need to get my words out tonight, don't I? So what I could do with that, if I was being really picky and I wanted to be make it absolutely perfect. One, I could have stamped and embossed it, but now just grab my jelly roll I'm just going to do this. Well, no, I've started to, I'll finish. I'll just do my Mastermind impersonation. Not Mastermind. Yeah, Mastermind, isn't it? Just keep going round. Ooh, I forgot which one I was on then. Just like that. And obviously, if you took your time, you'd be a little bit more on the lines than I am. But it's adding to that sketchy feel. Yeah. Do you like that excuse? It is, it's adding to my sketchy feel. I'm just going to keep going on these. Oops. I don't even know what line I was trying to draw over there. Got there in the end though. Right, can you see? I just realised I was covering over with my book. Just adding that little bit back in. Yep. Now, come on girl, you need to make a decision. these centres. I'm quite liking it, actually. If you notice, we've got a little bit of the antique linen just poking through. I think I'm going to colour it in antique linen. I know I kept saying I was going to do it tea dye, but I actually think this antique linen will. It's yellow, but not too yellow. Yeah. I've gone quite dry on this. To be fair, I'd have probably got away without colouring it in, but you know me, I like to faff till the end. There you go, didn't need half as much of that. It did actually just add to it, didn't it? Right, so now I have got Live in the Moment. I think it might actually be. What do we think? It does actually fit quite nicely there, doesn't it? I was wondering whether we try and be a bit clever and pop it into... But no, I'm going to just stamp it in that bottom corner because I think that'll do it. That's the one that's running out, girl. That's the new one. And then I think that is us done. But just remember, when we'd been faffing with our background and before we stamped our flower, we could have stopped there and we'd have had a fab one for a blog. And if you're doing it on like a 5x5, not 5x5, 5b7, these bits would have been closer together, so it would have really packed quite a punch. I think I've got that inked up. If I haven't, I know where my black jelly roll is. So again, when I'm lining this one up, I'm looking at the and in, because Live a Moment are as wonky as a dog's iron leg. It's the in and the that are your straight ones, and that is to eyeball it up with. Any of this fancy font is always going to be higgledy-piggledy. There we go. I'm overpressing it tonight. But, oh, that was a bit pants. Emergency. I need my black jelly roll. Should have little blue flashing lights on it, shouldn't it? Emergency jelly roll pen to the rescue. Reminds me of a book we've been reading as well. Not about jelly roll pens to the rescue, but about emergency vehicles. Though if somebody wanted to write a book about emergency jelly roll pens, that could be quite interesting too. Right, so I'm just going to put a tissue. I think that's it. I'm quite happy with how this one's turned out. We have got what we used actually on this one is 5 inks, our charcoal pencil, well 5 inks and our multi-make. That is what we've used on this one. So not bad really, is it? Oh, and jelly rolls. Do they really count? Because they're like staples, aren't they? They're like stamp bases. We'll see. Right, so what do? We splattered a little bit in the background, so you can see my little splodgy marks, specifically where I was going to stamp, so where I wanted my bits to go. And I haven't put the glossy accents on because I don't think it needs it, does it? And then we stamped over using our border. Yep, so we've got our antique linen and our tea dye on there to create our background. We then painted a little bit in. I've got something stuck on it there. Looks like, I don't know what it looks like. Never mind. And then we just painted in using some of the same colours and our charcoal pencils and a little bit of white doodle pen. We stamped our flower in black ink, so that is what's popping off our page, our black flower and our black sentiment. Yep. We tied it in with our flower, so of course peel paint, and we've used our flamingo, which just ties in nicely with that tea dye. And then we've just used a little bit of that antique linen to finish off our flowers. And if I was being really See, all it needs, a little white doodle pen. There we go. And then of course if I've done that there, I'm going to start faffing now, aren't I? Right, stop girl, stop. Oh, excuse me. Right, stop. Take the pen away from me. But there we go. I've had fun doing that one. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let's see if we can do this now. There we go, we're back. So, I hope you've enjoyed that. I've had some fun. We've done some different techniques, haven't we, tonight? Really simple one, and we couldn't, like I keep saying, we could have stopped halfway through and we'd had a wonderful blokes card. So maybe that's what we do next time. Don't know. Anyway, we are back on Friday at 8 o'clock. Football Friday, so it's 8 o'clock, I'm afraid. Oh, thank you all. Thank you for your lovely comments. Back on Friday, 8 o'clock. I'm trying to think what else I've got to tell you. If you're doing the swap in the group, I need them by Saturday. And we have our week challenge going on in our group as well. So keep your eyes peeled for that if you are in our group, The Crafty Roos. So yeah, that's it from me. Have a lovely rest of your week. Thank you for joining me, and I hopefully will see you on Friday. So take care, stay safe, and I will see you all again very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.